Okay, let's dive in. There's just so much excitement right now around AI tools, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. It's everywhere.
And for good reason. I mean, the power to generate copy, summarize things, draft social posts almost instantly, it's genuinely changed how much content we can create.
It has. The execution power is undeniable.
But there's a but coming. I feel it.
There is. And it's something we found looking through the sources for today. That's a bit of an uncomfortable truth, maybe.
Okay, lay it on us.
The most advanced AI companies out there, the ones actually building this stuff, well, they don't rely on their own AI for their core strategy, their direction. That's still human.
That's fascinating. That's the paradox we're digging into today, then. We've looked at materials focused specifically on marketing strategy inside the AI industry. And they all seem to point to the same idea. Human strategy is still the secret sauce, you could say. You just can't prompt your way to real strategy.
Exactly. And that's our goal for you today. We want to get past the hype, pinpoint exactly where human input isn't just helpful, it's irreplaceable.
So we're mapping out those critical areas.
Yeah. We've identified 5 key areas where that human insight transforms, frankly, generic AI output into actual strategic growth, the kind that shows up on the bottom line.
Okay, let's start with what the sources are calling the strategy gap. There's a fundamental problem identified.
Yes. AI is brilliant at generation. We know that.
Yeah.
But one source put it really well.
What was that?
Creativity without curation is just noise.
Oof. That hits. And noise doesn't drive growth, does it? Strategy does.
Exactly. There's already way too much noise online. The difference is stark. Noise doesn't build anything lasting. Focused, intentional strategy does.
So we need to understand the limits. What can't AI automate, even if it seems like it should?
Right. So, okay, ChatGPT or a similar model can write you a press release. It can synthesize data. But it fundamentally lacks 3 key strategic functions.
Okay, what are those? Because, the temptation is to think, if I just feed it all my market research, my brand guidelines, shouldn't it figure it out?
That is the temptation. It's a misconception, though. First, the AI cannot truly articulate your market positioning. It doesn't grasp the white space you're trying to own.
It doesn't understand nuance in the market landscape.
Not in a strategic sense.
Yeah.
Second, it can't define your unique brand voice, the one that's built on your company culture, your values.
Okay.
And maybe most critically, it can't align all your messaging across different channels and then tie it directly back to, say, specific sales goals or product roadmaps.
So it gets the words, the syntax, but not the overall plan, the architecture.
Precisely. It doesn't understand the architecture of your business goals. Syntax, yes. Architecture, no.
That distinction feels really important. Syntax versus architecture. Okay, that leads us neatly into the first big element the sources say you just can't automate. Taste.
Yes. And we need to spend a moment here because taste can sound subjective.
Right, like personal preference.
Yeah. But that's not how the sources define it. They frame taste as pattern recognition refined over time. It's built on real human discernment, on accumulated experience, wisdom even.
Okay, but hang on. AI is the king of pattern recognition. So why does it fail at taste in the strategic sense?
Because strategy and marketing, it's ultimately about creating value and differentiation. It's not just about churning out volume. If you primarily use AI just to generate more stuff, faster, you're actually helping commoditize content. You end up blending in, not standing out.
So using AI without that taste filter actually works against differentiation.
It can, absolutely. Taste is that human filter ensuring your brand doesn't sound like every other company using the same prompts, the same models.
Wow. Okay, just pause on that. If the tool for generation is basically available to everyone, then the real advantage isn't the tool, it's the quality of the human filter you apply before and after generation.
Exactly. Nailed it. And the sources point to 4 specific strategic actions that demand that human filter, that taste.
Okay, what are they?
First, spotting an emerging shift in a category. That sort of gut feeling.
Yeah.
That sense of timing about where the market's headed. That comes from years watching actual human behavior.
Right. It's not just crunching past data. It's interpreting potential futures. What's second?
Second is writing with real cultural nuance and timing. Knowing how a message will land right now because of current events or social shifts, that takes empathy, which AI just doesn't have.
Makes sense. Third.
Third is recognizing when your own messaging is getting stale. AI knows what worked before, but it can't really predict audience fatigue or know when it's time for a refresh before the numbers dip.
Okay. And the last one.
And this is crucial. Deciding which ideas out of maybe hundreds AI generates are actually worth scaling up. Which ones get budget, resources, and which ones need to be dropped. That judgment call. Purely human.
That's decisive. Taste isn't just preference, it's strategic judgment.
Yeah.
Okay, so if taste is about what we choose, the sources also talk about structure, how we build it in. Let's tackle that misconception head on. Typing a prompt asking for headlines isn't marketing strategy.
Not even close. Strategy, as these experts describe it, is architecture and orchestration.
Architecture and orchestration, I like that.
It really requires that level of planning. Look, AI is an amazing tool, a powerful assistant maybe, but it's not the architect.
So what does that human-led architecture require? What are the pillars?
Great human-led marketing needs fundamentally 4 things that AI can help execute but never lead.
Okay, break that down for us.
First, deep insight into your audience. Their psychology, their behavior, and not just stats, but understanding motivations, maybe from talking to actual customers. Real interpretation.
Got it. Human insight.
Second, a really deep understanding of your category. Who are the competitors? What are their moves? What makes you different?
Competitive landscape awareness. Okay.
Third, crystal clear, measurable goals. And these have to be tied to actual business outcomes, not just, vanity metrics.
Right. Real objectives. And number 4.
A comprehensive plan. An architected plan for how you'll distribute content, test its impact, and this is key. Adapt your strategy based on real results. It's a living blueprint.
Not just a one-off prompt response.
Exactly. It's dynamic.
That sounds, frankly, challenging. It sounds complex, maybe even slow, kind of the opposite of the AI promise of speed and ease.
It is challenging, and that's precisely why it's valuable. It's not easily replicated. One source used a really strong analogy.
Yeah.
Treating AI like your strategist is like giving a new hire the keys to your brand and hoping for the best.
Ouch. Okay, that paints a picture. You wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't. You need that strategic blueprint first, designed by experienced human architects before you unleash the tools. Strategy first, tools second. Always.
That's a powerful image. It really underscores the danger of confusing generation speed with strategic smarts. Okay, let's shift from theory to practice. If this human element, this architecture, is so critical, where's the proof among the big players?
Well, the proof is pretty definitive. You can't really ignore it. OpenAI, the company that basically kicked off this whole LLM revolution,
Yeah?
they have a dedicated human-led marketing team.
They do.
Google DeepMind, Anthropic. All the major AI players invest heavily in human strategists. It's not because they lack the tech to automate it.
Right, they have infinite computing power.
They just understand the stakes are too high. They know what's required.
What's so interesting there is that in this industry, built on cutting-edge tech, the core need is still fundamental marketing principles, applied really precisely.
Absolutely, because perception drives adoption in this space.
Okay.
Maybe more than any other.
How so?
Well, think about it. Trust. Especially around tech that feels so transformative, maybe even scary to some. That trust can't be automated.
You can't prompt trust into existence.
Exactly. And positioning. That can't be prompted either because it's an intentional choice about how you want your brand to be seen against everyone else. And brand sentiment, how people feel about your product, its safety, its vision that needs constant shaping, protection, evolution by real people who get the cultural context.
So if the world's top AI firms rely on humans for this, it's clearly not optional. It's essential.
It's a non-negotiable requirement for them.
Which leads us perfectly to the competitive edge that comes out of all this human effort, storytelling.
Yes, because, let's be honest, we've hit peak content. Or we're very close.
It certainly feels that way sometimes.
If almost anyone with a subscription can generate a decent blog post, then the content itself isn't the differentiator anymore.
So what is?
The ability to tell a story that actually sticks, that narrative edge, that's the competitive moat you want.
Okay, how does great human-driven storytelling do what a generated narrative can't? What's the mechanism?
It builds real emotional resonance that drives loyalty, it drives conversion in the long run, and crucially, especially for complex tech like AI, it makes it feel human, approachable, understandable.
So it bridges the gap between the tech and the person using it.
Exactly. When someone chooses an AI platform, they're not just buying the code or the features. They're buying into the belief system, the vision, the culture behind the tech.
They're buying the story.
They're buying the story. And crafting that story, giving it emotional weight. That takes strategic human insight, period.
Okay, let's bring this towards our final point, which kind of ties it all together. Strategy-backed creativity and this idea of presence. The sources had a pretty strong warning here.
They did, essentially. Okay. If your brand, even if it is an AI tool, looks and sounds generic, you can't blame the AI.
Who do you blame?
The source was blunt. It's yours. Your fault.
Wow. Okay.
Because the companies that truly dominate their categories, they're not always the ones with the absolute bleeding edge tech. Often they're the ones with the best stories and the most defined presence in the market.
Okay, so let's define that strategically. What is presence in this context? What's the equation?
Presence equals intentional positioning, plus unique storytelling, plus rigorous strategic execution. Those three things together.
Positioning, storytelling, execution.
Right. Your brand is never just a list of features. It's a feeling.
Yeah.
And your marketing, your messaging, has to be deliberately structured to create that specific feeling.
And if you just rely on what a model averages from the internet,
You get the average, which by definition is generic. You blend in.
and that intentional structure, that feeling, it comes from asking those human questions AI can't answer for you.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
what's our unique point of view? What specific ground are we claiming that no one else can?
And fundamentally, what feeling do we want to leave behind? What lingers after someone interacts with our brand?
Those are the strategic questions.
Okay, let's synthesize this whole deep dive then. What's the core takeaway?
The smartest AI companies, they're investing heavily in building brands, not just slightly faster tools.
Yeah.
They understand AI can assist execution like never before.
But it can't steer.
It cannot steer the strategic direction. Real growth comes from clarity of vision, not the chaos of just producing more volume.
So strategy needs that human architecture, not just automated speed.
That's it. Success means pairing your unique, non-scalable human insight, your taste, your vision with these powerful tools. But always guided by a smart strategic framework.
The human leads, the tool supports.
That's the model. So the takeaway for you listening is clear. Use AI. Absolutely use it to support your marketing execution, but never, ever let it define or steer your core strategy.
Because a competitive advantage isn't the tool itself.
No, the secret sauce is the human discernment driving the tool.
Okay. That leaves us with a final provocative thought for you to mull over. It pulls directly from this idea of peak content and the danger of just blending in.
Right.
If, as we've discussed, pretty much anyone with an AI subscription can generate a blog post, an email, a social update, what specific non-scalable human element, that strategic taste, that cultural nuance, that deep-seated vision, what are you going to inject into your messaging next time to make sure your brand actually cuts through instead of just adding to the noise?